Hi, my name is Brian King, and this is my fundraising project. Several years back, I had the privilege of going to study, to work, and to volunteer in Guatemala, and more in particular into Quetzaltenango in the Western Highlands, which is also known as Shela in their indigenous term by the group there around that area, which is Quiche. In Guatemala, there's several different indigenous Mayan populations, which makes up a really big part of the population of that country. And so in my time studying there and volunteering with different projects, it really touched my heart in ways that I didn't know. I thought I was going to learn Spanish and do a little volunteer work, which was absolutely amazing. But it really did change my life. Being able to travel and see the whole country, which, complete blessing. And almost feeling spoiled, if you may, that I was able to be able to see the whole country when many people in the country haven't even made it out of their little community or area. And so really with that, my time there, it really, really did change me. I was so blessed by my time there. I'm so grateful and thankful for that experience that really changed my whole outlook on life. It took me from an outlook of more of one of always wanting to get for self and to receive, more to give to others, and changed my focus from a self-focus to others-focused. And it really just really changed the outlook on my life, the career path that I was on, and wanting to always find ways to be a blessing to others and to give back. Just knowing the immense blessings that I have, and I think that we have, and that have been blessed within our lives. And part of the time I really asked, why me? Why was I born in this situation when others were born with less? But it really just changed my focus around. And one of the projects, there was two major ones that I really worked with. One was in Chirihosh, working with in a medical community, working, teaching different sanitary skills of washing hair, brushing teeth, washing your face. A lot of stomach problems are big in the country. And then another one I really worked with was Habitat for Humanity. Both were really big ones, changed, my life. I think a lot of the country has been affected by a few different things, and one of them was they had a war from 1960 to 1996 where 700,000 people were either have disappeared or have since passed on from the effects of that. And some of that, the lingering effects of the war and other natural disasters have kind of lingered on the country in effects of either financially, economically, and psychological for many of the people that are still affected today from such things as PTSD and a whole bunch of other different things. I think it has a big effect on a lot of the people, a lot of the population there in Guatemala. But I really chose, and something that came to play on my heart was Habitat for Humanity. And after I had helped build a home for a family there in that community, I was back in the States, and I received a mailing from Habitat Guatemala. And the prices might have been slightly different now versus then, but it's $4,800, just $4,800 to build a house for a family in Guatemala. And something kind of came at me and tugged at my heartstrings, and said, you need to do something to fund and to give back. And so really that's what my fundraising project is Habitat for Humanity for Guatemala. In particular, there's 22 states, counties, areas of Guatemala, but the one I really want to give back to is to Shela, to Quetzaltenango, where I spent a lot of time, and it really, obviously changed my life. So I had that calling to really give back. When you really look at some of the housing facts and Habitat for Humanity in Guatemala, 1.7 million people are living in substandard housing in Guatemala. Then on top of that, you take respiratory illnesses. A lot of in the homes or the places where the people live, there's there's stoves kind of, the cooking, there's a lot of smoke, and it's very, bad lung-wise. Respiratory illnesses are a huge cause of death resulting from that. And the other one is that 5 children a day die from waterborne diseases. And a lot of that is, when you kind of pair all three together, you have substandard housing, therefore you don't have the right cooking setup, which creates problems with smoke. Without the right cooking stuff, and maybe you don't always clean the water right, maybe, and you have to boil a lot of water, so that's not there, then that creates a whole nother problem as well. So when you kind of look at that, those are some of the factors that go into housing. Habitat for Humanity in Guatemala started in 1979 after there was an earthquake in part of Quetzaltenango, and so they went in there to build a house. And some 34 years later, they're still building homes there. They just recently, this last year, completed their 50,000th home, and they're now working on the next goal. Over the next few years, they want to double that and get to 100,000, which is really, honestly pretty amazing. Guatemala is the strongest international Habitat for Humanity international site outside of the United States. And they've been constantly there just building and really giving back. And so with this, my real goal, focus, and desire is to give back a house. I feel that my life was drastically changed, and I want to be able to give back and to help change other lives too. Henceforth comes fundraising, online crowdfunding, and so working together, putting the efforts of many together to change the lives of others, realizing that there's a world outside of our world, and people that also need maybe some assistance and help to make that next step to create a different legacy and an improving legacy in their lives. It's just really, really touched. So that's me wanting to give back to others through Habitat for Humanity, to begin with one home and building a home for a family. Some of the watching, I'm going to post some other videos too with this as well, some of the ones from Habitat to get a different feel of what it's like, what the people are there like, what a building site looks like, so that you're able to really get a clear understanding and picture of what's going on there. Some of the things that really hit my heart. Habitat said to build homes and change lives one family at a time. Build relationships and change communities one person and one heart at a time. So I ask that you would please join me, and after you see this and read the information I've posted as well, that if it really touches your heart, if it pulls at the heartstrings and it tugs on them, that you would really take a moment and consider and donate, whether it's 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, whatever you can, and also to go ahead and to maybe share this on your social media outlets and with your friends and family. Habitat for Humanity is more than homes. It's más de casas. It's hogares. It's comunidades. It's esperanza. It's homes. It's communities. It's hope for the future. It's hope for a greater future. It's hope for just having the normal things of life, having a nice roof over your head, water, food, and those safety issues. Juntos podemos hacer mucho. Together we can achieve much. I ask you to please join me in providing a home for another family in Guatemala. Be blessed.